Okay, so your Warrior 3 is broken, and I'm here to help you fix it today. See this happening all the time, and while I try to give cues and prompts in a class or when I'm working with a client, sometimes there's just too much going on or we can't quite really convey the information. And so I was working with a client the other day who was having the same challenge. Now this shows up in this case, a single leg stiff leg deadlift, and we're using a kettlebell with opposing arm and leg. But it's the same principles that apply when you're doing a Warrior 3 in a yoga. So I was working with my client the other day, and this is a challenge that she has, and so we kind of broke it down. I broke out my app, shot the footage, and I wanted to kind of share it here with you guys, and how you can kind of clean things up. And really, the simple cue that I like to share is it's all about your back leg. You know, most times folks are super focused on the leg they're standing on. They're super focused on maybe their core, their spine, that sort of thing. But more often than not, it's just this kind of fixation on the standing leg. And really where you want to shift your focus is to your back leg, the leg that's going to be elevated. That's the leg you want to really put your attention on when you're doing a Warrior 3. And here's why. I'll show you this little video clip here of my client where she starts to initiate, and you can see the positions that she's starting in are pretty much the same, whether we're talking about the bottom. You can see kind of a straight line. What we're looking for is a line ideally from the ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle, but even if we're not quite there, we're still looking to get into kind of the ballpark with that. But you can see her positioning is very similar in her setup. One thing we'll point out as we start the movement here is you'll see that as she begins to elevate with the back leg, and you'll notice, and let me change this here, that her in this bottom view, that you're seeing this roundedness already to her spine, and the spine is getting more parallel to the ground than what her back leg is. Where if we look at the top video, you'll see that she's still maintaining that line pretty solid, again, from ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. And if we kind of continue with this, you will see that, boom, that's as far as she got in the bottom video. That's where she maxed out, was right about here before things really kind of started to fall apart. And you'll see that she really loses her balance on the way back out of it. Now, if we're watching the top clip, we'll see that she's actually getting almost parallel to the ground right here. And if we make that line from her ankle, boom, almost perfectly parallel to the ground. That's what we're really shooting for at the end of the day. Now, we'll continue with this little clip here. And you'll see in the bottom one that she really struggles with getting the balance to even start her second repetition, whereas the top, you can see that she really has control over the exercise, the movement. The one thing I would say is this back leg, we kind of talked about, I'd like to clean up that angle a little more. It gives you more strength. I always kind of refer to the back leg as your anchor. And again, that's going to give you that strength and stability in the pose. So if we could clean that up a little bit, she would be even more stable in this position. Whereas again, if we look at the bottom clip, we're really struggling here, right? And again, having a hard time even bringing it back to a vertical position, let alone getting into any kind of Warrior 3 or a stiff leg deadlift exercise. All right, so if we continue through, boom, you'll see in the top clip again, she kind of nails almost that exact same position as she was in before. A little short on this one, perhaps, but still almost perfectly parallel to the ground. You can see that her kettlebell is nice and close into her foot. She's keeping her weight oriented over her standing leg. But again, if we look at this bottom clip, we're going to see that she's all out of position. We got a lot happening in there, right? So I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to convey, and that's one thing I would just really encourage you to focus on the next time you're practicing Warrior 3, or in this case, you're in the gym and you're doing some single leg stiff leg deadlift work, which you certainly should be doing. So I hope this video will help you out, and if you have any questions, please be sure to let me know. I'm always here to help you, Chris at chrisroachwellness.com. And again, give this a shot and feel free to comment back or shoot me a direct message and let me know how it goes for you. Until next time, guys, peace out.